A shadow moves quietly across the corridors of history, subtle yet persistent, shaping the destinies of nations and the lives of individuals. It is the shadow of control, of planning, of the promise that human life can be organized, measured, and perfected. Friedrich Hayek confronts this shadow not as a distant theorist, but as a careful observer of the turbulence of the 20th century, where the allure of security and equality seduced societies into surrendering freedom. He asks a question that reverberates across time. How does the desire to organize, to plan, and to secure comfort slowly transform a society into one where liberty is no longer a lived reality, but a theoretical ideal? At the heart of this transformation lies an idea that seems innocuous, even noble, the belief that social life can be rationalized, that human behavior can be guided and optimized for the collective good. Collectivism promises safety, equality, and justice. And yet, Hayek shows, it exacts a price that is rarely visible in the beginning. When individuals give their judgment, their autonomy, to centralized authority, they exchange the unpredictable richness of freedom for the fragile comfort of certainty. History whispers warnings. Nations that sought stability through the direction of the few often found themselves bound in invisible chains. The very freedoms they cherished quietly eroded. The allure of planning is intensified by the turbulence of human events. Economic crises, wars, and social upheaval create a hunger for predictability, a craving for certainty that draws citizens toward powerful authorities. Governments, responding to fear and necessity, extend their reach into every sphere of life, promising order and protection. Yet Hayek reveals a hidden logic. The concentration of authority, even when guided by reason or good intentions, inevitably transforms into coercion. Obedience becomes a moral and practical requirement, and the human spirit, once free to experiment and act, becomes constrained within the designs of planners and policymakers. This drift toward control is driven by the nature of knowledge itself. Human society is infinitely complex, and knowledge is dispersed, residing not in a single mind, but in the countless decisions, experiences, and judgments of individuals. Markets, competition, and voluntary exchanges encode this dispersed knowledge, signaling what is needed, what works, and what is valuable. Centralized planning, by attempting to replace this organic flow with top-down directives, ignores the limits of knowledge. It treats information as a fixed resource to be allocated, rather than a living, evolving process emerging from the actions of autonomous actors. The subtle danger lies here. When the state decides what is known, what is possible, and what is permitted, freedom ceases to be a reality and becomes an abstraction. Hayek's observations extend into the very psychology of human beings. Security, equality, and predictability seduce citizens into relinquishing responsibility and moral judgment. Each incremental concession to authority normalizes dependence, reshaping the character of individuals and the culture of society. The freedom that was once experienced in everyday choices becomes a distant memory. People are led to believe that safety and fairness require surrender, and the moral courage to question, resist, or act independently is quietly stifled. Liberty is not taken suddenly. It fades in measured steps, almost imperceptible, until what remains is a society that obeys because it has forgotten the meaning of autonomy. This tension between freedom and security complicates the ideals of democracy. Popular consent, while essential, cannot alone safeguard liberty. Citizens, driven by fear or compassion, may empower central authority without realizing the cumulative consequences of their choices. Majority rule can become a vehicle for centralization, rather than a shield for freedom. if it is not tempered by institutions that protect dispersed knowledge and individual autonomy. Laws, property rights, and decentralized structures are not mere formalities, they are the very architecture of liberty, enabling people to act, experiment, and learn without the constant gaze of a controlling authority shaping every decision. Hayek traces the economic mechanisms through which control solidifies, revealing that planning centralizes decision-making, replaces organic processes, and transforms knowledge into a commodity. What was once inseparable from human judgment becomes a resource to be owned, transferred, bought, and sold. Questions of truth and meaning are replaced with questions of utility and efficiency. Knowledge loses its transformative power, becoming information that circulates but does not enlighten. In this system, the citizen is not an active participant in shaping reality, but a passive consumer of its carefully curated data. The freedom to interpret, to challenge, and to engage becomes subordinated to the mechanics of performance and compliance. The subtlety of this transformation is most profound in its invisibility. It unfolds not through dramatic revolutions, but through small, almost imperceptible steps. Each concession, justified by necessity, compassion, or the desire for improvement, accumulates into a pattern that reshapes the moral and political landscape. Citizens who seek equality and stability may inadvertently empower the very systems that limit autonomy. The creeping logic of centralization convinces people that surrendering choice is acceptable because it serves a higher purpose, and in doing so, the very ideals of liberty are eroded from within. Hayek's reflections invite a deeper philosophical consideration of freedom. It is not merely a legal or political concept, but a lived experience grounded in the capacity to act, to choose, and to generate knowledge through action. Liberty requires structures that respect complexity, protect dispersed knowledge, and sustain moral agency. Without such structures, power becomes self-perpetuating, and citizens become instruments rather than agents. The philosophical insight is clear. Freedom thrives not in a vacuum of rights, but in the interplay between knowledge, choice, and the institutions that preserve both. Ultimately, the road to serfdom is not a call to despair, but a call to awareness. Hayek challenges us to recognize the mechanisms that erode freedom and to cultivate vigilance in our political, economic, and personal choices. The surrender of liberty is often gradual, seductive, and rationalized by fear or desire for stability. Understanding this process allows us to resist it, to engage actively in shaping societies that preserve autonomy while addressing the needs of the collective. Freedom is achieved, nurtured, and protected through conscious action, not assumed through legislation alone. In a world constantly pulled between the desire for control and the necessity of freedom, the questions Hayek poses remain urgent. How do we ensure that security does not become a cage, that planning does not suffocate the human spirit, and that liberty is preserved in the face of complexity and uncertainty? The responsibility lies not only in the design of institutions, but in the attentiveness, judgment, and courage of each citizen. By recognizing the forces that constrain freedom, valuing dispersed knowledge, and acting to protect moral and political agency, we can navigate the delicate path between order and liberty, ensuring that the choices we make honor both human complexity and human dignity. Share your reflections in the comments and consider how your own life, actions, and decisions contribute to the preservation of freedom in a world that constantly pressures for control.